Good morning. This is Scoot Scuff coming to you live with. Oh, it's not showing up. Give it a second. Give it a second. There we go. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Oh, not collection. Investigations 2. There we go. It's fine. We always start at the beginning. Anyways, last time I said we were going to stream until we reached the end of the case. Evidently, I have once again underestimated the size of it. And we have probably at least an hour left, if I had to guess. So we're going to get through that today, because today is the to-be-announced stream day, so we can do whatever we want. In fact, that's the exact reason why I made it to be announced today, because I wasn't actually sure if we would finish or not. I thought we would. We didn't. So we'll finish that today, and then tomorrow, I don't know. I really don't. We might not do anything at all, actually. But either way, after that, we'll be getting back into Nier. And I have a lot of things that I want to read to you guys whenever that comes. So for now, let's hop into it. And I hope everything's working. Audio is on. Made sure of that. I had it off for some reason. Now let's see, where did we leave off? We left off with Judy admitting that she stole the ice sculptures, and that one of them had the body inside of it, and that she believes Gusteau to be the murderer because he came back to claim the body. And we know Gusteau is probably the murderer, unless they decide to bring in something about the Suns in. And that we also know that we can get him because he was in Zhang Fa this whole time, which means the statute of limitations was suspended. So here we go, shall we? Miss Bound, are you feeling a little calmer now? Yes. Good. And allow me to get to the point. Regardless of your intentions, you broke the law. Yes, I understand. Nevertheless, I understand that what you did, Oh, wait. Okay, it's fine. We're starting at the beginning. It hasn't even been 5 minutes. Nevertheless, I understand that you did what you did in order to prove Mr. Tangaroa's innocence. Therefore, if the real culprit really is someone else, then we have a duty to reinvestigate the case. Oh, you. The lady that I hate. There is nothing to suggest that anything nefarious took place in the official IS-7 incident records. And right now, there is nothing to suggest that we should take Miss Bound at her word, either. So our first order of business should be to arrest the culprit of the case before us, Miss Bound herself. No, we have proof. Official records cannot always be trusted, Judge Gavel, especially since there are those prosecutors who would think of nothing of twisting the facts. Man, hold on, we'll stop stuttering by the 10-minute mark, I promise. Are you suggesting that the committee at the time overlooked just such a prosecutor? That's for you and your people to figure out. However, it is a fact that the autopsy report was faked, seeing as Mr. Frost's body was only found just now. There really is something of Mr. Von Karma in you, Mr. Edgeworth. How so, exactly? By continually defying the will of the committee and bending the truth to fit your needs, that's how. Perhaps it is time you understand how no, the committee sees this case. The committee is willing to accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified Mr. Frost's autopsy report. Even still, Mr. Von Karma only managed to have Mr. Tangaroa convicted as an accomplice. I personally have come to believe that the real culprit behind the IS-7 incident is Miss Bound. Her plan to poison and kill Mr. Gusteau today was her attempt to frame him for Mr. Frost's murder. This is how the committee sees things, is it? It is. As always, I act solely in service of law and order. It sounds to me like all she's doing is acting in service of the committee and covering up the truth. Yeah, it seems very strange that she can just act on behalf of the entire thing, even with them not even present for this. Maybe she talked about it with them before today started, but Bound wasn't even a suspect until, well, like today when the body was found. Very odd. If I can't change her mind, there'll be no saving Mr. Tangaroa or Miss Bound. Okay, in that case, where do we want to start off with this? We do have that falsified report, don't we? Right here? Yeah. Because we can see the annotations that Fender left us. We know that detail is wrong. Tanjiro only was convicted as an accomplice. That is what happened, right? Let me check. Tanjiro, convicted as an accomplice. That's correct. That's correct. The real culprit was Miss Bound, you say? And her plan to kill Mr. Gusteau was her attempt to frame him for Mr. Frost's murder. That is a strange statement. What about this whole situation would indicate that? May I ask?
Hold it!
Why would Miss Bound have chosen to frame Mr. Gusteau for the murder? No doubt because he suspected her of being the real culprit. He may have entered what he thought was the Winter Wing simply to see if the Gemini statue was genuine. Little did he know he would be greeted by a trap designed to silence him. A trap that nearly worked. Do you have any evidence to support that line of reasoning? Unfortunately, Mr. Gusteau remains in critical condition. It will be difficult to prove anything until he regains consciousness. In other words, there is little we can do for now. On the contrary, there is plenty we can do. You still have not grasped the situation, have you? Allow me to spell it out for you. That is... Oh, okay, she is going to expand on it. I was about to say, we also can just wait this out. There's no reason for us not to, really. Unless we're threatening to arrest Judy right now. But it's not like they have anyone like Von Karma to interrogate her. So it wouldn't be bad. Or that bad. You have all the evidence you need to explain both the IS-7 incident and the poison gas attack. You've therefore determined there's no need to investigate either case further. Do we? Do we have all the evidence? I mean, we still don't know whose fingers these are. Did we finish this? We did. Let's press these statements, shall we?
Hold it!
Why would Miss Bound have chosen to frame Mr. Gusteau for the murder? No doubt because he suspected her of being the real culprit. He may have entered what he thought was the Winter Wing simply to see if the Gemini statue was genuine. Wait, this is the same line. Did I press the wrong thing? Or did they just put the same thing here? That's strange. That's a very strange way to do that. Oh, it's because I pressed the wrong one. That's why. All the evidence you need. In the matter of the IS-7 incident, we have a body, a murder weapon, and 2 suspects. As for the poison gas attack, we have the sources of the 2 chemicals and Miss Bound's confession. And as for you, Mr. Edgeworth, we also have enough evidence to see that you yourself will have to answer to the committee in a formal hearing. What? Whoa, that doesn't sound good. Don't worry, Malzerino. If nothing else, you're always more than welcome at Edgeworth & Co. Your Honor, I'd greatly appreciate it if we could stay focused on the matter at hand. Oh, of course. Now, where was I?
Hold it!
You really mean to assert that there are no loose ends left to investigate? None at all. Okay, this is, in fact, the fingerprints. All of the evidence has been examined at length. There's nothing more to be learned from them. Therefore, I see no need to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Miss Judy Bound. Your Honor, I'm certain there's something that still needs to be examined. The hammer is about to fall, Mr. Edgeworth. Only hard evidence can stop it now. Present what you think requires further deliberation now, assuming there really is anything left, that is. This isn't over yet, not by a long shot. There's still one thing we don't have the answer to. Oh, okay. Well, that's the looping dialogue. But yes, I will go ahead and present, because you were so explicit about it, the fingerprints. Wait, that's not it? Really? But we don't know whose that is. Do we? Okay, fine, sure. In that case, the one thing that we need to tie up the loose end for... Is it the family photo, perhaps? There is a missing third party. We can try that. That's also not it. Okay, that was a bit of a stretch. Not gonna lie. In that case, How about we try... Oh. Let's see. What do we not have a follow-up on? I mean, I guess the IS-7 incident case file? This isn't, I guess we need to get the proper autopsy report, don't we?
Objection!
And we don't have one. No, that also doesn't work? Okay. What else is a loose end? I feel like all these are loose ends. I just need to find the one that they want me to find. This would have been easier if I kept going yesterday instead of stopping. That's not loose ends. Let's see. These are all fine so far. Cookbook is fine. There's nothing wrong in the sketch. No, I mean not anything that we haven't covered already, I suppose. Let's see. Salt, sugar, blood. I mean, I guess the salt is also a loose end because we don't know why there was salt there. But I wouldn't call that a loose end. It's, I mean, no more than the other stuff. We can try it, I suppose, but it doesn't seem right.
Objection!
That's it. Okay. I would have considered the other things way bigger loose ends, but I suppose that works. I'm afraid there is still one question concerning the IS-7 incident that remains unanswered, Your Honor. Would you mind taking a look at this? What is it? They're test results, carried out on the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case in the Winter Wing. As you can see, traces of blood were detected. The question is, whose? Until that question is answered, I hardly think you can claim to have all the evidence. There was blood in the Gemini case? You should know this, shouldn't you? Why did I not hear about this from Eustace? Because Detective Gumshoe informed me of the results directly. I was planning to tell Mr. Winter about it myself, of course. You kept this to yourself until now? Despite having no jurisdiction here whatsoever. Mark my words, the committee will hear about what you've done here today. As ever, my interest is in the truth, and if mistakes were made in the past, they must be rectified. Also, he doesn't really have to tell you anything. You're not technically on the case, are you? You're a judge. You're just here to supervise Winter, who is actually on the case. At least that's how I understand this. If you must report me to the committee, then so be it. But in return, we must be allowed to investigate this case to the very end. That is not my decision to make. You'll need to discuss it with Eustace. Oh, is he back? Guess who's back, losers? And with good news, too. Oh, he came from the elevator. It was a close call for a minute there, but Carmelo Gusto is alive. Gusto? He made it. Wait, was that the voice I gave them? I don't remember. Oh, this was the thing he did, right, with the, like, dough balls, right? Anyway, nice, tattoo. Isn't it flex with your sprite, which is a bit weird, but that's fine. You're the one who found me. Yep, long time no see, Gusto. You're the attorney's assistant. You've grown, and you have an assistant of your own now. Assistant? No, I'm... He hasn't got the gig just yet. This is Gregory Edgeworth's son. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, at your service. Fate moves in mysterious ways. I'm in your debt. If you hadn't found me in time, I wouldn't be here to thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. After all, if you hadn't lived, we wouldn't be able to ask you what really happened 18 years ago. Huh? Why are you talking about that? We figured out quite a bit while you were out cold, including the fact that you're probably the guy that offed poor Artie Frost. What? Is that true? Miss Bound set up a very elaborate trap to catch Mr. Frost's murderer. A trap that involved rigging the Pisces case with poison gas. Perhaps in light of that fact, you could tell us in your own words what happened back then. Or perhaps you'd rather exercise your right to remain silent. Oh, okay, I see how the rest of this case is going to play out now. I probably would have fallen asleep if I did this yesterday, because I can't imagine it being especially entertaining. So we're going to prove Gusto did in fact do it. Probably with 1, 2, maybe 3 testimonies, and then he's going to omit it and say that he can't be arrested because of statute of limitations, which we will have to probably back up using this, and then we will counter it using the book, because he was in Zhang Fa that whole time. Okay. You know, I don't mind solving it, like, at this late in the game, or, like, solving the rest of the cases part this late, because the rest of this trial has been a real mystery. They had me guessing the entire time. Fantastic trial. Well, it's not really a trial, it's a case. Oh, it's not that. Gusto here's an old fan of the old meditation. You know, Om and all that jazz. You did miss a bit important story. Gusto has woken up from his poison gas-induced sleep coma thing. What else happened? Oh, there was something I just did. Oh, right. We pointed out to Gavel that there's blood that we haven't analyzed yet. And that's about it. Gusto just showed up, so we're probably about to start getting onto him about being the potential murderer. Wow, sleeping while standing seems pretty cool. That's one heck of a talent. Except there's no sleeping involved in meditation, Kay. Hey, Gusto, old pal. How about you snap out of it and tell us what went down way back then? I was caught in that girl's trap, so I must be the killer. Is this your idea of a joke? I'm the victim here. Indeed you are, Mr. Gusto. And there is no evidence that you have done anything wrong yet. Mr. Edgeworth and Mr. Fender are merely speculating. Rest assured that they have no authority here, and that you may pay them heed no longer. Huh? Oh, at least somebody here seems to be on my side. Judge Verity Gavel, it's a pleasure, Mr. Gusto. I will assist you in any way you may require. Perhaps you could begin by explaining what actually happened 18 years ago to Mr. Edgeworth. Fine. You want me to prove I'm innocent, Mr. Prosecutor? I'll be happy to.
Objection!
So, this is how you mean to play it, Judge Gavel. You're hoping Mr. Gusto will help you to hide what happened instead of trying to correct the record? I believe only in the infallible judgment of the Goddess of Justice. Except it is us humans who make the actual judgment calls in a court of law. And so long as there are those who would use the law to their advantage, our rulings are infallible indeed. If you would use your position to further obscure the truth, neither she nor I will forgive you. We shall see about that. What do you advise, Judge Gavel? It would seem that you are under suspicion because it was you who triggered the poison gas. Specifically, by opening the Pisces case lid. Oh, no, Gavel, what are you doing? This guy has not been here for any of this. He has no idea. He can't make up a story. It'll be full of contradictions. Let him speak. Don't give him information. You are supposed to be unbiased. You are a judge. Oh, I hate you. You are the worst. Would you be so kind as to share why with us? Understood. I came to see Frost's sculptures. Simple as that. I made a mistake with the opening times and arrived half an hour early. Miss Bound, was there no one at the reception desk around that time? I had left the main entrance unguarded and unlocked, just in case the killer made an appearance. I was also busy making preparations elsewhere, all the way up until the gallery's opening. So, no, there was no one here on the first floor then. But I did make sure that all the wings were locked up tight. All except the Autumn Wing, that is. I see. You did all that just to steer the culprit into the Autumn Wing. He does just have dough in his pocket. It's strange, but not the strangest thing that we've seen in an Ace Attorney character. Oh, what was it? Oh... I mean, I was thinking of one specific example, but there's a ton of characters who just have things in their pocket or in their hands, which you most certainly would not see. Because a lot of the characters are just caricatures. Is that the right word? I think so. They're exaggerations. I really enjoy it, though. Which is precisely where Mr. Gusto went. Sneaking into a building's pretty suspicious, however you slice it. Silence in the courtroom. I will permit no objections or interventions unless there is some evidence that the witness is lying. The courtroom? You know this is an art gallery, right? Mr. Gusto, if you'd please continue by explaining why you opened the Pisces case. I wanted to see Frost's work up close, so I went up to Gemini. Sorry, I guess it was supposed to be the Pisces statue. I saw the lid was frozen on tight, so I grabbed a blowtorch from nearby and tried to open it. When I finally got it open, gas came pouring out. Fascinating. His is the sort of flawless testimony attorneys can only dream of. Yeah, that everything sounds like a lie kind. Yeah, this guy is insane if he thinks it's gonna fly. No reasonable person would use a blowtorch to open a glass case just to get a good look at something. I am none too satisfied with Mr. Gusto's explanation myself. Alas, there is no evidence to refute it. What? Come on, there must be something. It's Bound's story you should be questioning, not mine. I'm not the one who set the gas trap. She could have killed anybody with that thing. She turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was gunning for the killer, and nobody else. That killer being you, old pal. So you believe that self-confessed criminal? Miss Bound is far from blameless in this affair, and she will have to pay for her crimes. But so will Mr. Frost's killer. You seem determined to pin Frost's murder on me, but I have no reason to kill him. I think you do, actually. I don't know how, why, but it has something to do with this photograph. You two knew each other. And somehow your kids are involved? I don't really get it, though. You have no evidence to prove otherwise. Ugh. Can we really not prove that he's the killer, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Gusto fell victim to the poison gas. That much is indisputable. Yet, no matter how suspicious his actions in the present may seem, they prove nothing about the past. Yeah, but then what about you, Mr. Fender? There must be something we can do. You're right. We may not have evidence, but we have plenty of intel. Let's see now. If Gusto killed Frost, he must have had a reason. He claims not to have a motive. Well, that can't really be true, is it? Oh, we're getting our puzzle pieces in the middle. If he did it, he has one. Not many people commit murder just for fun. In fact, your old man had a little back and forth with Von Karma about a probable motive too, remember? How can you possibly say that with any certainty? If their relationship had broken down for some reason, that could very well have been the motive behind this murder. Von Karma wouldn't let us talk to Gusto back then, but we can now. If we can put the pieces together, I think the picture we've been looking for might just emerge. Yes, I think you might be right. I need to think back over everything we know about the IS-7 incident, especially the questions that never got answered. And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing the gloves? That's not the voice I gave Bad. It's fine, he's not gonna show up again. Miss Scone denied the finger marks on the frame were hers. What if they were Mr. Gusto's? Perhaps he had wanted to take a look through the Ultimate Cookbook for himself. So, he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seemed to think there should have been more shots left than there were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected. Oh, I just realized. Okay, it's not Judy taking extra photos. I guess she would have admitted that by now. Gusto took pictures of the cookbook, or at least a few pages of it. Yes, the numbers of shots he took didn't line up with the numbers of the shots remaining. But he thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way. My father noticed these things for a reason. I just need to piece them together correctly. In the absence of evidence, it's the only way to the truth. Okay, murderer's motive. Cooperation ended. Remaining exposures. Well, where do we start then, shall we? Well, I think we can start with the remaining exposures in the cookbook, because he took pictures of the cookbook, yeah? Photographing the cookbook's contents would be the perfect way to steal its secrets undetected. And what if Mr. Gusto did just that? What if he used Mr. Tangaroa's camera to photograph the book? It'd be the perfect crime! So much better than stealing and getting chased by the cops. A sneaky snapshot or 20, huh? That could work. The only question is, when would he have done it? Good question. What about during afternoon tea? Didn't Alicia say that Gusto and Frost had missed out on the little tea party they had? Which brings me to the next question. When do we know for certain that Mr. Frost was still alive? Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in his room. The only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled? No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywink's room for a little taste too. Mr. Frost had kept to himself inside the room after the contest started, but he was gone by the time Miss Scone snuck in to sample his work. Meaning, there's a good chance he was murdered before the end of the afternoon tea. Well, let's see. In that case, cooperation ended during afternoon tea? Is that when they fought? Is that what we're saying? I think so. I'm not actually sure on that one. Okay, I thought so. I was kind of making a stretch there, because I don't really get what they want here. But because the tea is not the murder, like the motivation. So I guess cooperation ended because of the motivation? Like they had a falling out just then and there? It's a bit hard to say. But I suppose Edgeworth is supposed to be really smart. Mr. Gusteau, you and Mr. Frost conspired to create works for the contest together, did you not? So, you knew my little secret. Mr. Fender was kind enough to inform me. Mr. Frost was in charge of the designs, while you were in charge of the flavor. Is that correct? What can I say? I still had a long way to travel on the road to becoming a master confectioner. But you only collaborated up to the semi-final. Something changed after that. We both wanted to show what we could do. Show that we were better than Tangaroa. Then why did you help Mr. Frost with his entry for the final? What grounds do you have to say that? Your own statement, made to Mr. Von Karma 18 years ago. You told him that you had been working together right up until the day before the final. Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed at least a day to freeze, and whose flavors would therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusteau. Yes, which lines up perfectly with what Gusteau told me, that he had helped Mr. Frost until the day before the final. In that case, why didn't Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusteau in return? I can hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead. So, why didn't Mr. Frost help you in return? I submit that your relationship broke down for some reason, and that became the basis of your motive for murder. Oh, it popped like a balloon. That's strange. That's not how it was. Sure, we stopped working together, but it was all perfectly friendly. You stopped working together in a friendly way? Kinda hard to imagine, but okay. And besides, how do you think I did it exactly? You think I just strolled into Tangaroa's room and killed Frost? Also, very strange, there's no music at all during this section. Music is turned on. It's just completely silent. I couldn't have killed the man while Tangaroa was in there working on his chocolate pieces, could I? So, you see, it couldn't have been me. I wouldn't be so sure. There must be a window of time when Mr. Tangaroa wasn't in his room. And if I can prove that, I can prove that Mr. Gusteau had the opportunity to kill Mr. Frost. Okay, so there's I was expecting it to be just a bunch of testimony, but I suppose this works as well. We can be sure that Mr. Frost was alive until the beginning of afternoon tea. Making tea time the only window during which Mr. Gusteau could have killed him. Are you satisfied with Mr. Gusteau's story now, Mr. Edgeworth? Sadly, I'm afraid I'm still rather unsatisfied. But things are finally starting to become clear, and the truth will soon come to light at last. Do you mean to say you have uncovered new evidence? Evidence? No. I was hoping I might convince Mr. Gusteau to open up to us about it instead. Oh, is it Mind Games time again? It is. Mr. Gusteau, I have a question for you. I said I have a question for you. What is it? You chose to make your entry for the final on your own. I told you, I wanted to test myself. I wanted to prove that I was the best in the world.
Objection!
If that were the case, then surely you wouldn't have had chosen to cheat in the first place. So tell me, Mr. Cousteau, why did you feel the need to team up with Mr. Frost? Oh, is it now time for testimony? Oh no, it's chess time, okay. 18 years ago, Mr. Cousteau and Mr. Frost collaborated in the confectionery contest. But why did they work together, and why did they enter the contest in the first place? That's the information I need to get out of my opponent somehow. Oh, 4 pieces. This is going to take a while. Mr. Cousteau seems to have a habit of pretending to be asleep when things aren't going his way. Let's start on focusing why he chose to work with Mr. Frost. By my hand, now is the time to dig up the truth that was buried all those years ago. So I assume if he's pretending to sleep, I just press him harder? Mr. Cousteau, what inspired you to collaborate with Mr. Frost? We were acquaintances from before we were contestants. He was interested in entering the contest, so we decided to sign up together. And your decision to pair up with a sculptor had nothing to do with your lack of faith in your skills? You don't know me. We joined forces because we wanted to make the most perfect creations possible. That's all. Frost's son and mine were in the same grade at school, so we got along pretty well, too. Oh? So you were just 2 friends who happened to try for the title of World's Greatest Confectioner? Okay, now we press harder. Pretending to be asleep when the going gets tough won't work on me, I'm afraid. Mr. Frost was a sculptor, Mr. Cousteau. I doubt he cared much about winning a title for confectioners. In which case, he probably had a different motive for taking part in the contest. Wouldn't you say? Fine. It was me. I wanted that title. Frost was only in it for the prize, the ultimate cookbook. I see. And since your objectives dovetailed so neatly, you decided to work together. But then, something happened. A breakdown in your relationship, perhaps? If so, I want to know why. Mr. Prosecutor, it seems I'm still quite unwell from my brush with death. Push me too hard, and I'll be on my way back to the medical room. No, wait! Then you'd better wrap this up quickly. I'm already dangerously low on patience. Mr. Cousteau is trying desperately to make his escape, but he's not going anywhere yet. Was that text supposed to be blue? I don't think Miles Edgeworth is saying this out loud. Not as long as he's still keeping things from me. So let's figure out what he was really after next. There's no time to lose. Let's see. You wanted more than just the title. You also wanted the book, didn't you? You too had your eyes on something other than the title, didn't you? After all, I'm not sure the title of World's Greatest Confectioner even counts for that much. Huh? Now you're insulting the way of the confectioner? My goal, my only goal, was to win that title. I didn't care about anything else. You have no idea just how much it would have meant to me. Look, my sense of my sense of design may not have been up to the snuff back then, but you should see me now. Oh, so you've improved. You bet I have. I didn't do all that training in Zhang-Fa for nothing. I looked up to Tangaroa, you know. Spent hours poring over the designs of his work. Even used to watch his show with my son. Sounds to me like Mr. Tangaroa's work was especially influential in your early studies. And with his recipe book, might have even become the best someday. Maybe. The book was a real treasure, no doubt about that. And any confectioner would have wanted it. You claim that your only goal was to win the title. Yet you also seem to have had an interest in the contest's prize, the Ultimate Cookbook. The greatest collection of recipes by the world's greatest confectioner. I can't say I had absolutely no interest in it. And even if I did, what exactly is so wrong with that? Nothing, I suppose. Only that the book contained recipes for medicines, not desserts. Everyone who entered the contest supposedly knew that. I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I can't let him slip from my grasp now. I just need to stay calm and keep the pressure on. Next, let's find out why he wanted the cookbook. Let's see. Did you need help make your sweets? Let's see if I can bait him into saying yes. So, your plan was to win the cookbook and use it to help you with your own creations. What else? A book like that could have improved my craft tenfold. You could have made a lot of money if you'd sold it. I don't know much about what was actually in there, but it was worth more than money, I'll tell you that. Well, he did just lie to me. Come on now, Mr. Gusteau. I think you know more about the Ultimate Cookbook than you claim. They told us a little about it at the start of the contest. Then you know what kind of recipes it actually contained, don't you? And that they weren't dessert recipes at all. I see you did your homework. Fine, so you know what was really in there. The Ultimate Cookbook, or the Angel's Cookbook to give it its proper title. Oh man, my hiccups are going rough today. It's a collection of chemical formulas, a way to synthesize new medicines nobody had ever heard of. So, he did know that the cookbook was actually contained recipes for medicines. This could be an important clue. In that case, now we go to top path, yeah? Did you know how valuable the cookbook really was? What kind of question is that? That was a collection of Tangaroa's recipes. There wasn't a confectioner in the world who wouldn't have wanted to get their hands on it. I would deploy my clue. Also, something to note about the structure of this trial. I think we're almost done with it. I mean, obviously I've been saying that since the beginning, but I did misread the whole multiple testimony thing, and said they had us do the puzzles, and now we're doing chess. But as soon as we're done here, I think the only thing left to handle is the statute of limitations, which will be through testimony, I believe. Or maybe not, I suppose. We'll see. Your designs may have improved thanks to your training in Zhang Fa, but you clearly didn't do enough work on your skills of You clearly didn't do enough work on your skills of deception. You already admitted that you knew the Ultimate Cookbook was a collection of recipes for medicines. Thereby making your interest not gastronomical, but pharmaceutical in nature. Why did you need the medicine? Is it for your son? Is that what this whole thing's about? You're a confectioner, Mr. Gusteau. You had no professional interest in revolutionary new medicines, which suggests that your interest must have been personal. I underestimated you. Fine, you're right. Winning the title wasn't the only reason I entered the contest. I needed one of the recipes in that book. It was for my son. He was sick. He was? Tell me more. That's none of your business. I've told you as much as you need to know. He looks rattled. But I can't let him off the hook. Ooh, you know, this kind of reminds me of my, not necessarily favorite, but an interesting Edgeworth moment. So, obviously here, a reasonable person would assume that either Gusteau is hiding that he got a cure from the book, or that his son died. Notably, Edgeworth is not necessarily fazed by this either way, because he's very cold to his, opposition, I should say, even to his allies at time. I recall one particular moment that's quite... I'm not sure if it would be famous or infamous, but essentially there was a witness on the stand, and she was saying that she's going to kill herself if Miles, revealed some evidence. And he went, I don't care. And then he read it out anyway, pretty much. Obviously, you know, sort of a big deal, but also he did kind of call her bluff. I think you just had to be in the moment there to really get the full shock of it. But it really was a great moment. Not in the sense that, Edgeworth being mean to people, but in the sense that, it was a really drama-heavy case, like a really serious one, very little joking. And that moment really highlights it, kind of. Let's find out what this mystery illness was. I've almost gotten to the bottom of this, I can feel it. Just a few more moves. Tell me a little bit more about your son. He was my pride and joy, and my biggest fan. And you entered the contest in order to help him? You clearly don't have children of your own. Any father would have done the same. I would have done anything to help him. Anything! He would come and see me here at the contest venue, too. Right up through the semifinal. Oh, and then he got really sick, right? Okay, I'm starting to piece it together. Really? He didn't get in the way of your work. If you were trying to beat Samson Tangaroa, surely you didn't have time to look after a child. Yes, well, I wanted to do what I could for him. He said he wanted to always be the first to try my creations. I'm still recovering, so if you... Oh, no, really? That wasn't it? I needed to press? Okay. That's odd. I was just gonna let him keep talking. That really seemed like a moment where he would keep going on his own. You said your son was sick, Mr. Gusteau, and yet he was able to come and join you for the contests? No, it wasn't that kind of illness. Nothing life-threatening, anyway. This feels like it could be an important clue. Could you tell me the name of the disease your son suffered from? You're a real cold customer, Mr. Prosecutor. Isn't it enough that he was seriously ill? Why would you force me to tell you more? But it wasn't life-threatening, was it? Oh, so why are you so reluctant to share any further details? It may not have been life-threatening, but that doesn't mean it hadn't been life-altering. I see. That must have been very hard on the both of you. Of course it was! That was why I did everything I could to find a cure. We were desperate. He couldn't taste anything. Not even his favorite desserts. Really? That's what this is all about? I mean, it's fitting, I suppose, but odd. As I understand it, the Ultimate Cookbook contains a recipe for a very particular medicine. One that Mr. Tangaroa used to cure himself of his own taste disorder. So, he had it too? Too, you say? So, your son had a taste disorder then, am I correct? Ugh! How did I let that slip? You've been asking me to believe that you needed to win the cookbook in order to cure your son. Was that really the case? Of course it was. What are you saying? I'm saying that I'm not so sure that's true based on everything you told me. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. Oh, we had to go all the way back here, okay. So you needed the cookbook to cure your son? Yes. Nowadays, you can get the medication he needed anywhere. But back then, that book was our only hope. Which is why I didn't dare waste my time on fancy tea parties. I had to give it all to my work. And what about Mr. Tangaroa's work? Surely that tea break gave you the perfect opportunity to go steal a glance at it. And what makes you think I had the energy or time to care about what others had made? No, really, that's not it? Man, this really is an unintuitive mode. I think you've made it abundantly clear how much interest you had in Mr. Tangaroa's work. What's more, if you were that determined to win the Ultimate Cookbook, I seriously doubt you would have passed up on a chance to take a peek at your competitors' entries. I had plenty of chances throughout the contest to see and sample my rival's work, you know. But each time I did, nothing seemed to have any flavor. Must have been nerves or something. Nothing Mr. Gusteau tasted had any flavor. That seems like it could be an important clue. Oh, he's the sick one? Wait, that's strange. What the heck's... What? What? But what did that sell? What about the suns then? Is that a red herring? Is that what we're doing? Hold on, I need to speed through this, because we've already done this before. And then we mess up at the end. What the heck is up with this? Is he really just going to turn out to be that petty, I guess, would be the word? I'm not sure. Let's see, yep, and we go through one more speed up. Then we should make it to where we need to be. And here we are, this is where we need to be. But was that really the case? Of course it was. What are you saying? I'm saying that I'm not so sure that's true based on everything you've told me. You were sick yourself, weren't you? Oh, taste is different. Oh man, look at me. It's tripping over my tongue. Taste disorders are difficult to live with. It isn't easy not being able to enjoy your food. You should know. After all, you just told me you'd experienced something like that during the contest. You said that nothing you sampled had any flavor. Those were your words, correct? Which would seem to suggest that you were suffering from a taste disorder. Ah! A confectioner without a sense of taste. Not exactly ideal. Are you sure it wasn't actually your own condition you were seeking a cure for, Mr. Gusteau? Ugh. I've had enough of your speculations. I managed to just fine in that contest. Made all my own entries, no problem. Oh, but no, that's not quite it. Sorry, but I'm afraid you are contradicting your own testimony. You already admitted that you and Mr. Frost had worked together during the contest. It's too late to claim you did it all on your own now. Ah! You would have us believe that you are a man of principle, a dedicated student of the confectioner's art. Yet you abandoned those principles and conspired with Mr. Frost to rig the contest. Also, you could cure your own taste disorder. Really? That's the way we're going with this? That's so strange. You got me, Mr. Prosecutor. As you said, my sense of taste was shot. My son's was fine. I kept it hidden for so long. 18 years and nobody knew. Sadly, you can lie to others, but you can't lie to me. Both Mr. Gusteau and Mr. Frost entered the contest in hoping to gain the ultimate cookbook. Or the medicine that would cure Mr. Gusteau's disorder, and the money it would bring in for Mr. Frost. Thus an uneasy alliance was formed. And that, I believe, is checkmate. Okay. I need to talk about that really quickly. As always, I think the chess mode is unintuitive. I like the conversations that come out of it, but I wish it flowed better, and you didn't just have to sort of guess when to press and when not to, and also that you didn't have to guess on which dialogue box to start on. That's my critique on all of them, and I also keep on every one of them I keep saying my opinion is probably not going to change, and it hasn't. I've been kind of expecting them to do something more interesting with it, but I suppose not. Now Gusteau's motivation here, the whole curing his own taste disorder, that is a very weak motivation for murder. I get that it's kind of his thing, being a confectioner, but I'm also sort of doubting that maybe, I'm not sure, maybe this is all part of a bigger plot? So if we recall from the previous game, Zhang Fa and the smuggling ring coming out of it, and going into it, was the main thing. Zhang Fa keeps coming up in this game, so it's clearly relevant still, especially considering Kay's storyline isn't quite wrapped up. You know, Callisto Yu did escape. So what if Zhang, like the smuggling ring, or Callisto, or some other thing from Zhang Fa, probably not that, but one of the other two, is connected to this whole thing? They don't necessarily have to reveal it in this chapter, but they could do it, like, reveal it later. That wouldn't necessarily be the wildest thing they've done. And they've most certainly done such things like that in a satisfying way before as well. And I think this game did come out after the fourth game in the main series, so they would have had the experience as well. The fourth game was really good at tying everything together in an unexpected way. That's why it's my favorite one. You know, I'm really not sure what they're going to do here. I mean, I know that this is where we're going to progress. You know, just talk about the whole statute of limitation things after he admits it. But are we going to keep pressing him on his motive? Or are we going to leave that for later? Ugh! I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody any of this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago, I developed I don't know how to pronounce that. Ageusia. Ageusia? That's what we'll go with. What's ageusia? It's a taste disorder that makes it so you can't taste anything at all. Confectioner's worst nightmare. Mr. Fender, is this what Mr. Tongarvoa had as well? No. Big man had what they call dissociated taste disorder. Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all. So, he suffered too. Can't have been easy. Not when there wasn't any way to cure it on the market. Which is why you needed Mr. Tangaroa's cookbook. Do you now admit that that was the real reason you entered the contest? It was only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. When I put my mind to something, it gets done. I won't lose to anybody. I may not have been able to taste it then, but I still knew my stuff was good enough to win. Oh? So you went into the final thinking you stood a chance of winning. Of course. What was that Fender said about Mr. Tangaroa thought of Mr. Gusteau's creations? Mr. Gusteau's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design. At least, up to the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entry for the final was subpar on both counts. We were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you described. What happened, Mr. Gusteau? What went wrong that day? Fine. You want me to talk, I'll talk. But you're not going to like what I have to say. Oh, here's that testimony I was waiting for. Frost and I were working together right up through the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing. I wanted to face Tangaroa in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. So I helped Frost with his entry, but mine I did alone. It didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I lacked training. Oh, terrible testimony, my guy. You just told us that you couldn't taste anything at the time. That's all there is to it. Happy now? There doesn't seem to be any obvious contradiction in his testimony. Yep. Not that I thought it'd be easy to get anything real out of him. He's managed not to let slip what really happened 18 years ago, after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Miles Reno? See if you can't shake something loose. I think I might just have to, Fender. Okay, well thank you for the explicit hint on what to do. I will do that now. Let's see. We'll start with this one.
Hold it!
Frost was in charge of designing the work you both submitted, while you handled the tastes? Yes. He was a sculptor, a craftsman, and his sense of design was second to none. But he was clueless about confectionery, which was where I came in. We each did what the other couldn't. And boy, did you not have an eye for aesthetics. Not even the simple stuff. Ugh. Oh, what's he gonna make this time? First time we've seen him make something since he woke up. Oh, a phoenix. How do you like me now? Huh. The national symbol of Zheng Fa. Oh yeah, it's a phoenix. That's awesome. I'll say, pretty different to the stuff you were pumping out 18 years ago. Ha ha ha! Behold, the fruit of my training. I've dedicated my whole life to the craft. But back then, we both needed each other's help. So we joined hands until the final. In that case, I need to press that last one as well, because that's also where you mentioned the tastes.
Hold it!
And yet, I heard that your creations prior to the final were scored highly for their flavor. So, what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident on that day? No, nothing like that. It was... I told you, I had a taste disorder. Oh man, my hiccups are getting rough. My sense of taste failed me. As simple as that. But Mr. Frost's entry was complimented on its flavor. Your sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Something happened overnight. Ugh. I don't think he's gonna spill any more beans, Mr. Edgeworth. Then perhaps I should ask him about something else. Oh, what do we swap to? Semi-final? Or Mr. Frost? I mean, probably Mr. Frost, because that is, how to say? Like, we need to know about the falling out. You knew Mr. Frost from before the contest, correct? Ugh. You remembered, I see. My son and Frost used to go to elementary school together. Okay, there we go, I got it. I was a bit distracted during that. Sorry about that. But this is good to know. I need you to expand on this, though, because I can't just present the photo, because, I mean, I have proof that this happened, but I need to know more details about this.
Hold it!
It was no coincidence that you both entered the contest, correct? Yes. I heard about it first, then I told Frost. I knew he'd be interested. He was always short of cash for his sculptures. That's right. Mr. Frost was supposedly always in financial trouble, wasn't he? The cookbook is really worth that much, huh? I see that glint in your eye, kiddo. But don't get your great thieving hopes up. It was worth a lot back then. These days, you can find most of the stuff in there on any drugstore shelf. Oh, bummer. So, literally every last contestant only ever had eyes on that cookbook I see. 18-year-old mystery. Oh, really? Okay, this is the looping dialogue. So, do I present the photo then? To get him to talk more?
Objection!
No, I don't. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was the case. Because they could have done something weird like that. In that case, what do I do with this? You say they went to school together, and I do have proof of that in the form of the photo, but presenting the photo isn't really helpful, is it? Do I just need to press everything? Oh, that's the wrong button. In that case, I suppose I'll press these other two photos, not photos, lines. Oh, bot, let's go bonk them. And bonk, you're gone.
Hold it!
So you're saying Mr. Frost didn't help you at all, but he'd helped you up until then, correct? It's a bit strange for him to stop so late in the contest, no? Strange or not, it's the truth. It would be he had his reasons too. I wouldn't know. If he's lying, it's going to be a headache to prove. 18 years is a long time. Not unless that gizmo of yours has a built-in lie detector, Kay. If it did, I'd have stolen the show from Mr. Edgeworth long before now. Don't worry, Fender. I can tell when he's lying. No doohickeys assistance required. Please, Mr. Cousteau, continue your testimony. Okay, we have one more thing we can press.
Hold it!
You were serious about winning the title, then? Of course! The art of confectionery is my life. Why wouldn't I have wanted to be crowned the greatest? But I still had a lot to learn back then. Guess it's no surprise my work wasn't up to scratch. But the title wasn't the only thing you wanted. There was the cookbook, too. And you wanted the book even more than you wanted the title. Isn't that right, Mr. Cousteau? Ugh.
Overruled!
Mr. Edgeworth, you are badgering a witness who is still suffering the effects of today's attack. Oh, Gavel, I hate you. I cannot allow this harassment to continue. I understand, Your Honor, but ignore him, Mr. Cousteau. You need not answer that vile prosecutor's question. Please, do continue your testimony in your own time. Okay, so it is this last statement that we got. So what about this is contradictory? Your son and Frost used to go to elementary school together. That is true. You can see it here. But nothing about that seems strange to me. And does it have to do with the fact that your son was coming to visit you? Do we have that anywhere? In the, in here? Let's see. No? Nothing in here. Nothing in here. Yep, I had to get that one out. Metal Gear reference. Your son and Frost used to go to elementary school together. I need to press this again.
Hold it!
Yeah, I'm just gonna speed through this one. Let me see. The cookbook was worth a lot, but these days it's not much value. You just need to remember everything Fender told you about what he and Greg discovered. Gregory. What is wrong with this? Your son and Frost used to go to elementary school together. That is true. We know this. This is true. And it's not a case overview. It certainly is not. Not the pamphlet. Not the Winterwing photo. Not the blowtorch. Not the luminous cloth. Oh, there's a 3D model for it. How unnecessary. It's not the Pisces statue sketch. It's not the poison gas ingredients. I suppose... No, it can't be the cookbook. Maybe the frame? I mean, I guess maybe we could say that was the sun's doing. I doubt it, though. Can't be the lamp. We've already tried the family photo. Oh, why is my mouse there? It can't be the teapot? No, it can't be. Can't be the lift cart. Nothing about the sketch here is relevant. The Gemini case analysis results. Sugar detected in the water fountain, and blood in the melted stuff. What if I
Hold it!
go back here? Is this one of those weird cases where I press something multiple times? Let me see. It is. Okay. They don't do this much. This is really rare. Let's ask about the semifinal then. Does something change between the semifinal and the final, Mr. Cousteau? Not really. The only difference between the semifinal and the final was that Frost wasn't helping me. Ah, no, but we do know about this, your son. So we did present this, we looked at it. Your son was visiting before then.
Objection!
I can think of one significant difference between the semifinal and the final, Mr. Cousteau. Your son. This is him in the photograph, correct? You told me he was here with you up to the semifinal. He was. What of it? What indeed? He was here with you until the semifinal. Until he wasn't for the final. Edward, you're repeating yourself. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavor to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? Oh, you were using your son to taste things for you. He wasn't just spending quality time with his father. He was playing a much more pivotal role than that. I just wanted him to see me hard at work. To show him I was trying my best for us. Who knows? Maybe it was him being here that helped me do so well in those early rounds. He talks a good game, but nothing about this guy screams super dad to me. Indeed. Thankfully, we would only have to give such an idea to credence if his story were true. Hold on, is game audio on? I just need to double check. I'm sort of paranoid about that. It is. After all, how much could the encouragement of one small boy affect the taste of a grown man's work? Mr. Cousteau prided himself on the flavor of his creations, but then he lost his sense of taste. He must have had a tough time maintaining his high standards after such a devastating loss, unless... I'm sure your son was here to cheer you on. But that wasn't all he was here to do, was it? You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor. But why not try answering yourself for a change? What was an elementary school kid doing here, other than to support his father? Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Cousteau. He was my biggest fan. Of course he knew it. In which case, you would have been a good judge of whether something tasted on brand, so to speak, no? What are you implying? You've already told us that you are suffering from a taste disorder. I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody any of this. But you figured it out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago, I developed... Oh, how did I pronounce it? Ageusia. No one knew about your condition. Indeed. I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you if he had found out. After all, it was your job to make sure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you. He was helping you by taste testing your work. Ugh. Dang, now it all makes sense. Raw stuff tasted good because it was really finished the day before when the kid was still here. Oh, you have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor. But do you seriously think I'd trust a kid to tell me how to adjust the taste of my masterpieces? I have some pride, you know, even back then. Did you now? My designs may not have been much to write home about back then, but I always knew when my work tasted better than anybody else's. You'd think I'd risk everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child. This is just more speculation. That's all it is. In that case, I ask to speak with your son this instant. Let's see how much of the story he can corroborate. Oh, the hiccups. Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern. But what? As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Jang Fa to start my training. Cut off all ties with that kid for good. What? You abandoned your own child? And that ain't the half of it. No one knows where he is, even now. The cops have looked all over for him, but no dice. So, still think you can prove your asinine theory? I'd like to see you try. You think I care about anything besides confectionery? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son? Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Cousteau's words and actions may demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on his part, the goddess of justice cannot judge him for that. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it is time for you to admit defeat. Yeah, give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to surface now, proof or otherwise. Mr. Edgeworth, we have to do something. If we don't, the truth might be lost forever. Where are you, Detective Gumshoe? Can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tasted straight away, sir. Please do, Detective. That's the last piece of the puzzle, I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is... Hey, Miles, sorry to cut in on your mind palace time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Cousteau didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? You mean because he tried to open the case? Exactamundo! Think we might have anything that might explain why he tried to do that? We might. If Detective Gumshoe can make it back in time with a certain piece of evidence. That's quite enough idle chatter defense. Now, if you... Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Sorry to keep you waiting! Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. I take it you have the test results, Detective? Why is he all the way over there? Yes, sir. The lab just got back to me. Detective, please. Court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us evidence Mr. Edgeworth was just speaking of? What? Hey, no fair! Why didn't anyone tell me about any of this? It is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, so I asked him to carry it out. What the... Why is everybody always helping you? I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Winner, I'm sorry I didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say? Well, all right. So, Detective Gumshoe, what did the tests have to tell us? You're not going to believe this, but the owner of the blood we found in the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case is Carmelo Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack. What are you talking about? Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. What do you mean, Edgeworth? Or Mr. Edgeworth? Do you call him Mr. Edgeworth still? Yeah. Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. What is the significance of this blood to the case? Huh. It's only the very thing the perpetrator of the IS-7 incident has been trying to hide all these years. The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Cousteau, is as good as finding your blood lying right next to Mr. Frost's body. Why would there be traces of your blood there, of all places, Mr. Cousteau? If you won't answer Her Honor, Mr. Cousteau, then I will. There wasn't just blood in the liquid from the Gemini case. There were traces of salt and sugar, too. There were? And if you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed. Oh yeah! You're talking about what Delicia told us back then, right? What was it again? Did they ever? I never tried ices so scrumptious in my life! Really? Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was truly unbearable. The salty bit? It's in the other photo you've got there. This bit, the harpy thing. Gemini's liar. Yes, the liar, and the only liar, tasted as if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry. Very interesting. Now perhaps you can tell us, Mr. Edgeworth, where did the salt in the liar come from? I don't actually know this. Oh, I'm a bit lost. I thought they were going to continue this on their own. Yeah, this says that there was salt, but where was the salt from? Is the question. Oh, it's from the salt lamp. Duh. How could I forget?
Take that!
This is the lamp from the IS-7 incident? Indeed. And I believe the salt that gave the liar its flavor came from just such a lamp. Mr. Von Karma had established that both salt lamps were in Mr. Tangaroa's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost. Oh, now the yawning started. And it was stained with his blood. And no corresponding pool of blood was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Right, because the culprit had chucked the piece of chocolate with that into a little stream. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in Mr. Frost's room either. Hey, come to think of it, the lamps were found in Alicia's room were both broken. Hold on, I gotta refresh this. It's really not doing too good. Ooh, yeah, that's really terrible. Oh, yep, the salt lamp. See, like, that's why I just refreshed, because we are really, really lagging today. In fact, I'll go ahead and just say it. We are hovering at around 2,000 bit rates, which is real hot garbage. Yeah, I know, the delay is really bad. It's really bad today. Because here's the thing. A bit of talk about the bitrate. So the bitrate is my main issue here at the streams these days. I've mostly sorted out the problems behind the scenes. But this one thing is going to haunt me probably as long as I live here, because I always have it set to be around 4,000. Not especially high, mind you, but good enough for a 720p stream. In fact, in the settings you could force it to be 720. But if you did that, the delay would be quite intense, because right now we're actually at 2,000 bit rate, which is really, really bad. Like, it's horrifically bad. In fact, that's why it's defaulting probably to 480, or perhaps even 360, depending on what you're watching on. But alas, that is simply something we have to deal with. Maybe one day we'll improve it, but that day is certainly not anytime soon. The lamps we found in Delicia's room were both broken. Oh, really? We're gonna read this again? I'm not gonna read that again. No. We never did figure out how the one that was used to kill Frost got busted, but are we thinking maybe it had Gusteau's blood on it at some point? Ugh. Anyone whose blood was found on one of the lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. So, the killer needed to hide the blood somehow, and in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion. And you are seriously suggesting that the liar was used to do that? I am. I suspect that the bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar so it could be hidden inside the case. Because unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would have needed more time and care to test properly. And so he waited and waited for his chance to dispose of the liar, undetected. Then the reason he's here today is 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to his killer were taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan. Thus a new dilemma arose. The possibility that the body, the incriminating evidence, or both, would resurface one day. So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to try and cover his tracks. Well, Mr. Gusteau, are you finally ready to admit it? That you are the one responsible for the IS-7 incident? Ugh. Ugh. Mr. Gusteau, it's all because of you that Samson... Gusteau. So, I finally got caught, huh? All these years later. Nobody came close back then, not even that big-shot prosecutor, or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I have to hand it to you. You admit it, then? That you murdered Artie Frost? Oh, sure I do. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame. What do you mean by that? He agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so that one of us could win. And whoever was supposed to let the other... One was supposed to let the other use the cookbook. But on the day of the final, the rat finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal! Sorry, I'm not helping you in the final. Our little agreement is over, Gusteau. But I helped you! I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your pieces. Did you? And can you prove that, I suppose? What do you... Wait. You were planning to betray me right from the start, weren't you? After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my piece for the final by myself. And like you said, my son wasn't there, so I didn't have any help with the flavor either. So much for the pride you claim to have in your ability to make delicious desserts. Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it was like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I gave up everything to become the best. Everything! I take pride in that. Something someone like you could never understand. You're right. I don't understand. Do you take pride in the fact that you resorted to murder? Or that you abandoned your son? Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things? The man can't afford to rely on other people. I learned that lesson the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up on the day of the final, and in hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why. Why would you think that? What exactly happened to your son? How am I supposed to know? I told you. He's none of my concern anymore. And according to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either. And you don't care? You're horrible. Gusteau and Judy do have similar hair. I think it's the big fluffy ponytail they have. Oh, I skipped one. So, this is his appearance. So too want your chances of winning, correct? Yes. I had to find another way of getting my hands on that book. That's when inspiration struck. Also, I need to note, this game loves to use yeah at the start of sentences, but I hate that. It's so informal, and it's also, which isn't necessarily wrong, right? But you can tell this is supposed to be a semi-formal dialogue, and also yeah is most certainly not a word you start the sentence with. Unless yeah is the whole sentence, I suppose. That's why I keep replacing it with yes. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaroa's room. It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed and get out of there. But then Frost showed up. I thought I might find you here. Stealing recipes from the famous cookbook, Tut-tut. Frost! What's this? A cure for taste disorders? Oh no, that's just too tragic. A confectioner who can't taste anything, what will people say? If you tell anybody, I'll... You'll what? Can't even hit me, you miserable worm. Why, you... Man, Frost really sucked, huh? Frost shoved me hard when I went to punch him. Knocked me clean off my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. Must have been when my blood got on it. So, Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt. I wouldn't necessarily call him Rules Card. Rules Card isn't nearly so mean-spirited. But I definitely do see the similarities. When it was all over, I realized I had to get rid of the blood somehow. So I scraped off all the blood-stained bits. I dissolved those salt shavings in some flavored ice mixture and brushed it all over the harp. So, that's how you made the evidence linking you to the murder vanish. Frost was going to blackmail me. He would have made me give him money to keep quiet about my condition. So, you decided to have him kill... You decided to kill him? Ha ha ha! Yeah, I guess I did. The visuals there, and he calls people worms. Yeah, like I said, I definitely do see the similarities. In fact, they both kind of have the French thing going on. I mean, obviously neither of them are French. But, they both really, like have connections to it. I don't really know how to describe it. I just call it the French thing. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding something like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who drew first blood. Makes for a solid case of self-defense, don't you think? So, that was the impetus behind it all. Anyway, I initially took the lamp to Frost's room. Went straight there once I'd figured out how I was going to hide the bloody part. Inspired by all the ice sculpting tools lying about the place, I guess? You're not as dumb as you pretend to be. Yes, figured I could use them to chip it off and grind it up. Once that was done, painting the stuff all over the harp was easy. But why Samson? Why do you have to frame him? Hold it. I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps and cloths back in Scone's room? There's only one reason to plant the murder weapon in the room of another contestant. That's to cast suspicion on that person. What? You tried to frame me, Gusty Pants? Yes. But why? Why poor old me? I respected Tangaroa. He was the best, a true champion. I would never have wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did. Oh, Gusty, how could you? And had you refrained from eating Tangaroa's work, Frost's body wouldn't have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangaroa was judging your room. That's when I'd sneak the corpse in the Frost's room and freeze it. Thanks to you, Bound here found it before I had a chance to retrieve it. I don't understand. Why did you need to freeze his body at all? Ha! Why indeed? Mr. Edgeworth, surely you must know. Why did Mr. Gusteau need to freeze Mr. Frost's body? To obscure the time of death. Mr. Gusteau needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. Ha ha ha! Bingo! Freezing Frost's body wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangaroa's room while I got everything ready in Frost's. At the time, it seemed like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on some gluttonous pharmacist showing up and making a whole ship collapse. But I still don't get it, though. Why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all? The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing it would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needed to disguise it, at least until it fully frozen. How awful. Using Mr. Frost's own work to help you cover up the truth behind his murder. Ironically, Tangaroa would have been just fine if the body hadn't been found before I got it out of his room. If only things had gone to plan, he wouldn't even have been arrested, let alone convicted. You mean it was my fault? Everything that happened to Samson? It was all because I found the body? Don't let him get inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. If it wasn't Samson, it would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusteau. It didn't help that the initial detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor that the body had vanished. So then, Mr. Von Karma had unwittingly placed Mr. Tangaroa under arrest in absence of a body? I mean, I guess it would explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Still, you'd think he'd noticed something as big as that if he'd taken a look at a few reports, right? Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. Either way, it seems that Mr. Von Karma didn't know about the body until after the arrest had been made. But admitting that would have spoiled his perfect record. So he kept it to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangaroa regardless. But can this really be true? You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you. Haha. Sticks and stones, girlie. Sticks and stones. What a jerk! I ought to arrest you right now, pal. I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, Detective. Haha! Haha! So you noticed, huh? Glad somebody did. The judge is right. You can't lay a finger on me. What? Why? You just confessed to a murder. Haha! No idea, huh? Then I guess I'd better lay it out for you. Okay, this is where we present the statute of limitations. I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math. You can't arrest me. You think I have confessed otherwise? Now, I should note, in real life, the statute of limitations is something that exists for certain crimes. Murder, in almost every scenario, is one of the crimes that it does not apply to. This is not the first time the Ace Attorney has decided to use the statute of limitations to help someone get away with murder. And every time it happens, I find it to be very strange. Because like I said, it does not make sense for there to be a statute of limitations on murder. The corpse is still there. The evidence is still there. The only thing that might be unreliable is the witnesses. It's really all just quite confusing, but I suppose it does make for some good plot points every now and then. This, though, is certainly not one of those cases. It kind of feels lazy. Oh, I skipped the line. Oh, hold on. That's right! The statute of limitations is only 15 years! Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Edgeworth? Ugh. Once the statute has expired, he can't be charged, so... But... How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm afraid that both Mr. Gusto's confession and your deductions will have to be struck from the record, and that Mr. Tangaroa's conviction will remain in place. But we've finally proven that the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangaroa has grounds for a retrial on that basis. Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that the Goddess of Justice's judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine. So, the committee means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand, no matter what? Bad luck, Mr. Prosecutor. There must be something we can do, something to bring Mr. Gusto down. Anyway, once again, I'm surprised Verity doesn't know this. Let's see. It is, in fact, 15 years.
Hold it!
That's the wrong button. I guess we can read it. Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet. Haha, this ought to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask, ask it. Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident. Sure. Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my taste disorder, thanks to the formula from that book. And not so long after that, I went to Zhang Fa to really buckle down and hone my craft. That explains a lot. We tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh? Huh, could be. I left, let's see, around a year after the murder. It was before Tangaroa's last day in court. Going to Zhang Fa was the best thing I ever did. Flavor, design! I'm the full package now. And all on the back of those who've... Oh, and all on the backs of those whose lives you've destroyed. What's an omelet without a few eggs, hmm? Nothing, Mr. Prosecutor, nothing. You're evil. Sticks and stones, girlie. You can't arrest me, that's all that matters. I need more to work with. There has to be something I can get out of him. Maybe I can push him further on the statements he just made. Is there anything I can follow up on? Actually, that is... I guess I didn't need to press. I was just going to outright present. This is fine. Training in Zhang Fa, please. I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zhang Fa, if you wouldn't mind. Fine. I later went... Yep. And then here, we can present the dummy book.
Objection!
Wonderful. You know, that might be the last thing. Or second to last. We always have the one at the end, the bonus thing. The statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following condition. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. Which means the time you spent abroad doesn't count towards the total time under the statute. No way! So it's like someone hit the pause button while he was in Jang Fa? It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet. But that will depend on how long you stayed in Jang Fa, Mr. Gusteau. It was 3 years, exactly. 3 years? Hold on. Nobody said anything until I've done the math. Murder happened 18 years back. Statute is 15 years. Add 3 overseas. 15 plus 3 makes exactly 18, which means no way! Mr. Edgeworth, you did it! The statute hasn't expired after all! So I'm going to say, while he's screaming, and I'm not going to be doing it... Oh, hold on. This really does feel a bit lazy. I feel like they're just calling back to the previous time they did the whole statute limitations thing. And it was actually, like, really good, and it had pressure on you the whole time. This just feels like they want to pad out the time. I don't really like it. Bingo! 18 years exactly. Glad you worked it out for yourselves. He's just been stringing us along this whole time. But why is he laughing? We're good, aren't we? We can arrest him now. I hate to break it to you, little sis, but IS-7 went down at the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder. Gusteau's stay in Jang Fa really lasted 3 years on the nose. It's not enough. We're a few months short. Not quite, actually. Did it? Oh, no, it did. Statute of limitations expired 3 years ago on December 24th. Oh, are we really just screwed then? I was thinking maybe we would just be counting off of the time that it ended? Let me see. Statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of the trial. Oh, you see, I was right. Okay, exactly what I was thinking. Because Tangaroa is was indicted as an accomplice, and his trial lasted a few months. So we're actually good. Not enough, but what did I tell you? You can't touch me. I hate to admit it, but he read the board well when he made his confession. How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. If only the statute had been suspended for another year. Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. And you, Mr. Edgeworth, have failed. No! There must be something I can do. I knew it. Well, if the law can't bring Mr. Gusteau to justice, then... Dudes, what are you thinking?
Objection!
Was she gonna go down with him? There's no need to go add into your rap sheet just yet. We're not done here. Far from it. Because there's still a way we can nail him. There is? Alright, Malzerino. Pep talk. I need you to think back over everything we know about the case. Gusteau's overlooked one critical thing that you yourself were led to believe wrongly about. Which is... he wasn't there for Samson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't seem to know what the final verdict that came down that day was. Which means, there's still one way left to save us. Crack open your statutes for dummies there and take another look. 17 years ago, they really did a number on Samson and framed him like a pretty picture. But if we make good use of that verdict now, we can make Gusteau pay in full for what he's done. Offender, are you? Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Samson's my client, Miles, and I can't bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon in this fight. So whether we play our last card or not, it's gonna have to be up to you. That's weird. Why are they phrasing it as a question to the player? Bringing Mr. Gusteau to the justice can only happen if I use the outcome of the hard-fought trial. So, should I raise an objection and play that card or not? Yes, of course do it. There's not going to be like a fake-out ending here. Or, not a fake-out ending, but like a bad ending here. They only done that once, and it was the end of a game. I think they just wanted the dramatic moment then. My father and Mr. Von Karma. One sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I choose to follow. The one that seeks to reveal the truth. This court has reached its final verdict. The record will state that Mr. Gusteau has been found not guilty on all counts. No, Your Honor, Mr. Carmelo Gusteau is absolutely guilty. I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to go unpunished. Do you mean to suggest that you have grounds upon which to call for his arrest? I do. Now, to show Judge Gavel that something... Yep, it's the case file, right? Let's see. Statute of limitations expired 3 years ago on December 24th. Right? This is what... And then... Are we using the case overview? Or are we using the dummy book? It could be either one, actually. I don't know. We'll go with the case overview first.
Take that.
Nope, that's not it. Oh, no, this is it. This is it. Okay. And there's a particular page I'd like to refer to. The first page, please. Right? Let me just double check. No, the second page. That is the second page, right? Victim data? No, it's suspect data. Okay. I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tangarello was convicted as an accomplice, and it took around 1 year for his indictment for the verdict to be revealed. Yes, that does seem to be the case. The book you gave us details certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is that the statute is suspended if the suspect flees the country. And another states that the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. What? Tangaroa was convicted as an accomplice? Yep. Guess you were in Zhang Fa when the verdict came down. Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not as the main perpetrator. Which is clearly news to you. Not good news either, am I right? But how can that be? Tangaroa wasn't an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent. You know it, Oh, we know it. It's what we've been trying to prove all along. And in a pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. If you spent 3 years in Zhang Fa, and your accomplice, Samson Tangarello, is on trial for 1 year, it means you can still be charged with Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, the statute of limitations hasn't expired at all. The goddess of judgment is infallible, but that of her servants, it appears, is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have been erred. Unbelievably, we may have no choice but to instigate a full inquiry. No! How could this... You weren't supposed to be able to... 18 years. That's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. It's time to pay the piper, Gusteau. Not a moment too soon. But I'm finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I gave up everything for this. Everything. Even my son. More's the pity. But you can't run from the law forever, because the bills come due at last. Oh, is he gonna break down now? Oh. Oh my. How dramatic. I like that one. Definitely a good breakdown. Mr. Gusteau is all set for his trip downtown, sir. Good. Which means it's your turn next, right? I suppose so. Jude, I'm so sorry, everybody. I've caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Gusteau to justice at last. I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your actions, Miss Bound. But those actions were born of the legal mistakes that were made all those years ago. We all know that. So allow me to apologize in return, on behalf of the prosecution. Oh, no. I have no one to blame but myself for it all. Starting with those sculptures. Hey, Jude. Maybe you might want me to represent you? I'm not some nervous newbie anymore. And there's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything. Oh, she's crying. Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender. Well, look at that. All's well that ends well, eh? I mean, not necessarily, it's not all wrapped up in a bow, but that's better than it could have ended. Sorry, ma'am, but you gotta come with me now. Of course. And I'm surprised they didn't really do much with Winter. I mean, obviously he's starting to develop a lot of self-doubt, but Gavel still kind of has him on a leash. I suppose that is a good setup for the next chapter if they want to do something with him. Judge Gavel, why did you lie to us? Lie? What are you talking about? You implied that there was no case for a retrial, but as we've proven, that wasn't true. Surely, anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called one as soon as the body was found. I am under no obligation to answer such questions. You clearly have no intention of doing so either. Oh, truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back on your continued transgressions. No doubt you'll be called to appear before the committee in due course. I wonder what it's going to be like when that happens. Now, I must be on my way. Because we know Edgeworth does eventually come out on top. After many long years of struggling, he becomes the head prosecutor of the district. What the heck? And after you caught the real killer and everything, isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do? Regardless of how it may all play out, I'll never regret what we accomplished here today. Mr. Edgeworth? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes. Why did you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job. My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winter. Not only as a prosecutor, but as a person. I don't get it. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Not as long as you believe that closing a case makes you a winner. That's going way over my head. I'm going home. What was that all about? Eustace still has a lot to learn. Milesy Wilesy! Yes. I just wanted to say, old Greggy Pegleg would have been proud of you today. Oh, look at me tearing up. That, and thanks for helping poor Sammy Poople. Of course. Hey, Edgy! Looks like you cleared everything up, huh? So, what happened exactly? I was kind of busy sketching. Wait, where did Judy and Verity go? Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you? Though I am loath to admit it, Larry's sketches did come through for us on more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that. Quit it with the glaring, will ya? Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Calm down, Larry. I wasn't glaring at you. You totally were. You're just like your pop. He was a terrible liar, too. He was? Listen, I'm gonna head out. Need to fill Samson in on what went down today. You wanna come with? Yes, of course. Great! Then I'm coming too. So, what's Mr. Tanjiro like? I can't wait to finally meet him. Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. That's why 3 p.m. cake extravaganza is the thing for prisoners and guards alike. Really? That sounds awesome. You think there'll be any left for us to try? Didn't we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison the other day? May have been some of Mr. Tangaroa's baked goods. Okay, I was concerned that, Tangaroa was going to show up dead as, a final twist. Gummy, what are you doing here? I heard you were all coming to see Mr. Tangaroa, so I volunteered to escort him. Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangaroa. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, at your service. And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick, Kay Faraday. It's very nice to meet you both. Miles here is Gregory's son. Is that so? Your father was very kind to me and fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession and... Don't worry, Mr. Tangaroa. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me. Sure did. Now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. The truth? Fade the black. Wonderful. Judy did all that for me? Crazy kid racked her brain for 18 years until she'd finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out, she really would do anything for you. Oh, Judy. I never did anything to deserve such devotion. Come now, Mr. Tangaroa. I think we all know that's not true. The bond between the two of you has held strong for all these years, after all. Oh, wow, hold on. My thing's frozen. Oh, I hope stream's been going well. Hold on. I need to refresh this. Let's see. There we go. There we go, it's refreshed. Oh, and it's actually doing a bit better now. Oh, I guess we were just having a bit of, like, interference, maybe due to the weather or something earlier? I don't know. Well, let's finish this off strong, shall we? You think so? I guess I had better show him. Which piece of evidence is proof of the bond between Mr. Tangaroa and Miss Bound? Oh, I wasn't thinking about this one at all. It's the chocolates, right? Because she keeps practicing into making it? Right? That's what I would say.
Take that!
Blacked once or twice, but it's not been too bad? Okay, good. Those chocolates... Judy made them, didn't she? Yes, she did. They're super delicious and sweet! Miss Bound continued making them, just as you taught her, even after that fateful day. So that there would always be some waiting for you, when you finally came home. Judy. Oh... I bet they're beyond super sweet then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I only wish we could hand them to you. Don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later. Which would be a clear breach of prison policy. Not that I have the authority to stop him anyway. Thank you very much. You know, Detective, something about you reminds me of Detective Bad. Really, pal? I look up to him a lot. He's my role model. You don't say. Seems fate likes to bring people of all sorts together, huh? You hang in there, Samson. Just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Nobody should have to wait 18 years to get their justice. You know, he probably will get them out soon. There's now the 3-day limit on trials, so it'll be pretty quick. Also, what's up with the Michael Myers wanted poster on this wall? I didn't notice that just now. Don't be a silly Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather, thank you. Truly. Samson. Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I'd better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. Don't let me down, Eddie. Leave it to me, big guy. Oh, what a nice ending. The IS-7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but this case we'd inherited from my father is finally coming to a close. Hey, Miles. Thanks for today. And sorry for forcing you to make the final call like that. Not at all. I simply made the call that felt right to me. Huh? What are you guys talking about? You know how Samson was wrongly convicted. We had to pretend that he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. But to use his false conviction against him, even to save him. As his lawyer, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I can see that. But now that Gusto's behind bars, I can finally start to get that wrongful conviction overturned. Yes, and I'm sure you will. Wait a minute. Does this mean that even if you were only doing what's right, if the false conviction had been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have gotten away scot-free? Yep. That's what we folks in the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect. Because of things like legal contradictions, right? Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. The law is always evolving, just like us humans. Your Uncle Eddie and Miles Reno included, am I right? Potential for growth and change. People and the law, huh? So, Miles, are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you got a big decision ahead of you. One only you can answer. I know. Well, let's just say I won't complain if you show up at the office one day. And on that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. I owe you big time. I always repay my debts, but for now... Thanks again for today. I mean it. Oh. You know, I was kind of expecting him to throw out some sort of goodbye. Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here to you? He did. And honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him a debt of gratitude. After all, he gave me the chance to reckon with my father's final case. When I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. But then, during my time with Mr. Von Karma, I learned the way of the prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice and a new way to live. But now my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. Maybe time for another long, hard look at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not. Oh, is that the end of the case? Oh, we have an epilogue. Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. It may have taken 18 years, but we're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boys, Miles. I couldn't have done it without him. You should have seen him. The way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It was like I was watching you. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were. Those guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I like to think I'm embodying them now as I carry on your legacy. Here's hoping. Your boy will be joining me in that soon. Unfortunately, he won't be doing that, but don't worry, he'll still be making you proud. Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? What is the right answer? What path should I choose? I think I was supposed to play this game before I did the last game in the main series. Because I would have... okay, well, it's fine, it's fine. Let's save the game, shall we? Oh, wonderful. Another case completed. Look at that, Turnabout Legacy completed. Next is Turnabout Forsaken. And then we'll have one more. Look at that, we're almost done with the game, over halfway there. Oh, that's wonderful, that's wonderful. We'd love to see that. We might actually be able to get it done by the end of the month, which would be really surprising. I was really, really slow with the last one. It took almost a whole year. So with that being said, let me pull up the end screen while I talk here. No, wait, hold on, I disappeared. There I am. I'm back. So, that was a good trial. I liked that one. I really, really did. The characters were great. The setup was great. I was lost and confused the whole time, and I loved every second of it. Except for the ending. That final stretch was really poor. With actually talking to Gusteau. I'm not really sure... what do I want to say? How do I word this? I think that, as always, the chess sections kind of really suck. They just do. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And we're just going to have to deal with the last few chapters, because I don't think they're going to do anything unique with it. And I really am just kind of confused on what they're going to be doing with the like the overall plot. I'm kind of grasping at still, because they could still pull in the Zhang Fa smuggling ring in. I don't think they're going to do that. I think more likely they're going to pull in Callisto Yu herself, just without the smuggling ring, because she seemed to be doing her own thing. Oh, but like I said, I'm not sure. But I like that. I like that I'm not sure, because if they pull it out at the last second and it connects to everything we've done so far, that would be fantastic. Just like they did in the fourth game. It would be amazing. But I suppose we'll just have to wait and see for next time, shall we? Tomorrow we have a to-be-announced stream, and I'm not sure how well I'll be feeling tomorrow. I don't really have a busy day, but if I'm too tired, we won't do it. If we are not tired, we'll either do extra near stream, or we will be doing some one-off that I can't think of yet. Or if I'm feeling really irresponsible, I'll start another game up, put too much on my plate. And we'll see how that goes. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. I have been rambling on for a really long time. This has been Seek of the Scuffed. Follow if you're new. Oh man, I'm getting better at that. It still makes me feel weird. And I will see you all tomorrow. Wait, that's not what I usually say. And I am signing off. Goodbye. See you all tomorrow. No raid today.